How's it going, everyone? Raph here from BNC Camera. It goes without saying that car photography is a huge thing. People love admiring other people's cars. However, don't limit yourself to taking photographs of vehicles during the day. Be sure to take advantage of the peculiar and phenomenal atmosphere that the evening time provides as well too. Car photography at night does come with a few obstacles. In today's video, we'll be discussing some tips and techniques to really make your car night photography game stand out from everyone else's. Now you're going to want to, of course, use a professional DSLR or mirrorless camera. Use a wide-angle lens. Don't forget to use a tripod as well too. Shoot in RAW. Set your white balance to auto. You can adjust this later on, of course, in post-production. Set your lens to manual focus. This way you can pinpoint specific aspects of the vehicle that you want in focus. Make sure your shutter speed is set accordingly based off of the look that you want for your nighttime photography, whether it be for long exposures with blurred movement or fast frame, high octane shooting. Keep those things in mind. Use an aperture of f8, f11, or f16. This will ensure you get crisp and sharp photos. Set your ISO to around 100 or 200, and again, this will vary based off of what you're trying to shoot in terms of style for the evening. Alrighty, with settings out the way, let's go ahead and discuss about camera equipment and techniques. Like we had discussed earlier, a sturdy and reliable tripod will be your best friend. If you do decide to shoot with a slower shutter speed, the tripod will help reduce motion blur and keep your car in focus. For faster paced events, having a tripod with a head that has fluid panning motion will help in chasing down those fast and speedy vehicles. A cool technique you can do as well too is stacking your photos. When you're in a deserted area with little to no light, you will need to get creative. If you lack light, you need long exposure times. You can use a technique during post-processing called stacking. Take a few photos, maybe around 8 to 10, using an exposure of 5 seconds. Try using some sort of light like a flashlight or headlights. Now, once you open one in your photo editing software, you can stack them onto each other to create one perfect image. The next one is a no-brainer, but try and look for unique and interesting light sources. Try getting a car near dramatic neon lights to help illuminate the photo while adding vivid colors. Traffic lights and headlights can also help add drama as well too. Be wary of color. Colors can sometimes be deceiving. You might shoot a car at night and think the colors you capture are fantastic, but realistically, colors and light don't always translate the way you want them. Take every light source that you're near to into consideration. If possible, always try to shoot RAW. You will need to edit these images a bit more than usual photographs. Because of this, shoot in RAW. RAW images will allow you more editing capabilities and more accuracy in terms of your photo. With shooting in RAW, you can alter things such as your white balance, hue, contrast, shadows, and more. Use the headlights to your advantage. You can create mesmerizing light trails when photographing cars at night. It can give you the illusion that light is almost painted on your image. Of course, don't forget to be safe when you're near moving cars. You're going to need to switch up your settings to get this creative light technique. Use a long shutter speed, somewhere around 15 seconds or so. Your aperture should sit between f5 and f11. And of course, try using a remote trigger. Those long shutter speeds need absolutely zero movement from your hands. Alrighty, let's go ahead and discuss a little bit about pan shooting. Now, when it comes to shooting movement, or pan shooting, you're able to freeze frame specific aspects of the vehicle while getting a sense of motion around the main subject you're shooting. First obvious one will be directional blur with the background. Second is anything moving fast in the frame, such as rims for example, will be blurred as well too. Pan shooting will take some trial and error, but having the shutter speed float around 1/125th of a second is a great start. If you'd like to make the blur that much more apparent, start dialing down your shutter speed from the 1/125th of a second. Realistically though, try not to go down anything below 1/30th of a second, as this will lead to mostly everything being blurry. Another way to get a shot of a moving car is also being in a car that's moving as well too. Take the panning technique out of the equation if you do this. This will keep the car in focus while making the background blurred. Develop a plan with the car's driver so you can be on the same page with your direction and how fast the car will go. And that pretty much sums it up in terms of night car photography. As with any shoot, have a game plan in mind in terms of the aesthetic and look you want for your shot. Then utilize the basic techniques we had mentioned in this video to make that shot happen. When you can and it's permitting, don't be afraid to experiment as well too. You're able to learn so much more from testing things you're not too familiar with. But again, of course, do those experiment shots once you got the main shots out of the way first. Thanks so much for joining us on this fast-paced episode. As always, if you found the video enjoyable and enlightening, please be sure to give us a like and subscribe if you haven't done so. If you have any tips and tricks of your own for night car photography, be sure to sound off in the comments section and get the discussion rolling. Once more, this is Raph from BNC Camera, and I'll catch you on the next video.